everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. It's opening week in the NFL, and today we have two teams are more than ready to get the season underway. It's the Titans going up against the Browns. With that, let's call in our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis, with this opening week matchup.
We are just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Tennessee Titans and the Cleveland Browns. Now a play fake here on first down. Well, he's going to take a shot right away. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Offensive starters, here they are. And Delaney Walker, Charles, it's a guy that you and I said we wanted to discuss a bit.
Yeah, and we should, because remember, he came out of college as a wide receiver, so he's one of the early guys to move from a wide receiver position to tight end and still run routes as if he were a wide receiver. An excellent target.
And here's the starting crew defensively for Cleveland.
You have to love Jamie Collins. You can use him just about anywhere on the defense. Inside linebacker, outside linebacker, defensive end. He might even play a little bit of safety if you give him the chance.
Off the play fake, Mariota. And this is going to be incomplete.
Defending an out route is awfully difficult because the best receivers try and sell an inside move before they break to the out, and you have to respect that as a defensive guy, because if you let them, what they say, cross your face or get across you in the middle of the field, usually you're beaten on a route, and that's an easier throw for the quarterback. So you ordinarily take a step over to make sure you seal that off. In this case, he was able to not only do that, but react back to the sideline and bat the ball down.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front, they moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
2nd down, just 1 yard to go. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Gets it to Gordon. 20! And that one results in 35 yards.
A lot of receivers see the drag route as a risk-reward type of a play. The risk, going into the middle of the field where there's some big people who want to hit you. But the reward is oftentimes you get lost in coverage, running a little bit underneath. And when you catch it just right, as we just saw there, the end result can be a big, big play.
They go play action here on first down. His pass caught at the 4. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they could do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
He'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Corey Coleman, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Browns have taken the early lead. The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. It's up and through to make it 7-0 Browns. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go. I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Mariota on first down. And he will find his man on the outside. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Only 3 there on the screen. It's second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. To the air again. Mariota. Incomplete. Cameron Meredith, the intended target. And that'll make it third down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on third down. On third down, Mariota. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll bring up fourth down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's third down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but it does turn a possible loss into positive yardage. Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Begin the drive with a run by Murray. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Man, wasn't that long ago that the guy playing that spot was an outside linebacker type of a guy. Now, as a defensive end, how about the speed that he used to get into the backfield and make the play?
It's already 2nd and 12. The defense hoping to push him back more.
Now let's go.
He'll drop to throw. That's complete. It's Gordon. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. Let's meet the offensive starters, and let's discuss Corey Coleman, first wide receiver drafted out of last year's class.
And there was a reason for that. When you watched his tape, when you watched his games, you saw his explosiveness and ability to play the ball in the air downfield. Don't get hung up on the fact he only ran 4 routes at Baylor. Just coach him up and turn him loose.
They'll look to throw here. And quick throw here, that's complete. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains.
They'll give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
On first down, Murray. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. On play action, they'll throw. Flush to his right. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
They'll set up the throw, and it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
When you hear screen, screen, screen on defense, that's a little bit scary because you know a big play might result.
He was so ready to get to part. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. He didn't get rid of the football there, took the sack. Although that's easier said than done. He can't just chuck the thing sideways into the seats.
No, he really can't because you're not afforded total protection as a quarterback. You have to get outside of the tackle boxes as defined by the NFL, meaning wherever your tackles operate normally, get outside of that. And the ball that you throw has to get back to at least the line of scrimmage. Otherwise, you face an intentional grounding call.
Gets it to Gordon. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. So now the Browns will turn it over to their field goal unit here. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, but the net gain, 3 points.
And you're going to have drives like that in this league. Sometimes you just got to take the 3 and move on. Always better than nothing.
This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
On second down, here's Henry. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
They come out here in the eye. On 3rd and 1, here's Mariota. And he locates Walker, complete. A big play that time on the catch and run. 37 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
To throw is Mariota. He's got time. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. Play fake to Henry. Now Mariota. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or 2 in and bats it away.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on 3rd after that incompletion. On 3rd down, Mariota. They set up the screen to Hill. And he is going to lose yardage here. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. Well, their offense has struggled for sure, but they get the field goal here and at least get on the board before half.
And that's not something we should underestimate, because just getting points on the board can sometimes have a settling effect on a team. Helps them start their comeback.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run with...
And a loose football. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be third and about a foot or 2.
But not a huge gain there as we head towards the 2-minute warning. It'll be interesting to me to see what they decide to do after the timeout.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from Cleveland after this. They come out here in the eye. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
3rd inches, they just handed to the big battering ram there. That's football 101, isn't it? That's bread and butter. Turn around and hand it to the big fella and let him get forward for a first down.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there. 63 yards. And the Browns add 6 to their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. This is taken at his 4. Now a hit and a loose football. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down into those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
First down, Mariota. And it's complete to Ladarius Green. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. 2nd down now after the pass completion. And now they're in the hurry-up.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that one.
And that's caught inside the 35. That goes for a gain of 31. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jamar Taylor. And some room to work. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
Extra point forthcoming. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And the Titans getting set to go. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk. This is a big decision here.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Off play action to Henry. Here's Mariota. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. To throw Mariota. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They go play action here on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. This is caught inside the 15. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. Field goal unit not out there. They want 6 before halftime. Final play of the half here, Mariota. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jamar Taylor. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down to Orlando where Larry Ridley has our EA Sports halftime report. Larry? Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah,
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Now let's go.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Logan Ryan. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. The Titans offense gears up for their first possession of the second half. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
They just get the play off. Now Mariota finding time. And they get to Mariota here as he's dropped on the sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
So a costly penalty and now a tougher third down situation. Third and long here for Mariota. They set up the screen to Hill. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That one good for 12 yards. And that's going to make it fourth down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So he splits the uprights there, and I would imagine it's nice as a kicker. Right when it leaves your foot, you know it's good.
Yeah, it's kind of like a golfer that picks up his tee after a nice drive without even watching it land.
Solid analogy. I like it. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And the Browns getting set to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. No gain on the play there. It'll be second down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. Surveying the field. And that is incomplete. The intended target was Corey Coleman, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
And he'll take it just outside the 40. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield across the 45. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Titans are going to start this drive in great field position as they take over 1st and 10. They'll try and get the run game going. This is Henry. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Again, it's Henry. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Now flags, and we're going to get a delay of game. And the yellow flag hurts this offense, and now they face a tough third down. On third down, Mariota. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. A great read, and it's picked off. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 13 yards there on the pickup, and it's good enough for a Cleveland first down.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a two tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the two tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see two tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
Now a play fake here on first down. Over the middle, the catch by Coleman. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is going to get out of bounds through the end zone, and that will go as a turnover as the defense will get it at the 20-yard line. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker.
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's Titan football here as they trail to begin the fourth quarter. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. A first down carry for Henry. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Mariota now on second down. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. Their big-bodied receiver, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Titans are able to cut into that deficit. And they will line up now for the two-point try. Trying to punch it in with Henry. And he will get into the end zone to shave 2 more points off the deficit. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now the Browns offense trots back onto the field. They come up in an offset eye. Here's Murray now as they run it to start the drive. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
It's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs.
Now let's go! Detroit! Detroit!
They'll try and run with their fullback. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
A good solid game there on first down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz. On play action, they'll throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
They go play action here on first down. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he's going to be out of bounds down to the 25. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. The strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Latavius Murray, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Browns add on to their lead. There are several elements to a well-executed screen touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Hey, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarter passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent, but you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
Here's Mariota trying to lay one up deep. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on to it at second down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays. And you don't get many opportunities to dial them up. And they just did. And they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Mariota to throw it. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to find Ladarius Green there as tight end. And it's third down. To the air again. Mariota. Looking left side, and it's complete. A gain of 11 and a first down.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. On the direct snap, Murray. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
Second down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13.
All right, here we go.
Again, it's Murray. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. He'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on 3rd down.
Like any team, they would have loved to have had more yards on that run, but it looks like they just want to get to the 2-minute warning and see what they want to do after that.
And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. Here's Jacob Shum now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. They keep it with Henry on 1st down. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down. Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down. Mariota hands to Henry. And he is going to be stopped here for no gain, and that is going to be the final play of this football game. And, partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season, we get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for the Browns, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Baltimore Ravens next week. Meanwhile, for Tennessee, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports.